Now, do you have a child that's a super picky eater? Now, sometimes there are some real medical or psychological issues that are going on that are causing them to be super finicky. And that's something that you need to look into with your doctor and really get support on. But I'm talking more about just your run-of-the-mill picky eater, a kid that wants to just eat the chips, the snacks, and not eat the solid square meals. That was where I was at with baby Faith. She's 2 years old now, and she really needs to be eating solids, and I found that she just wanted to gravitate towards crackers or snacky foods and not really eat her veggies and fruits and all the good things. So I really made a concerted effort for about 2 months, and we have made tremendous inroads. So I wanted to make this video. I've done other videos about picky eaters, but I wanted to kind of update the content, make it fresh, and hopefully share some helpful tips for you. So the first thing I did was really focus on the visual presentation, because food and digestion starts with appearance, okay? It really does kind of start the whole process. So I got these really fun plates that are colorful. Red and yellow and orange actually help to stimulate the appetite. And they also have little compartments, and that really helped me ensure that she was getting good variety. The next thing I focused on was balance: protein, carb, fat, fruit, or veggie. So for each meal, I made sure that there was a nice balance, because that's so good for her blood sugar regulation, for her digestion, and just for her overall vitality. So for each eating occasion, I would get her in the high chair and put one of those trays in front of her with a variety and a balance of foods. No more just, oh, here's some cheese crackers to snack on. I really try to keep that to a minimum, because what happens is babies will fill up on that snacky food, and then they don't want to eat the more important nutrients. The next thing I was sure to do is to have one food that I knew she would love on that plate. And I learned this the hard way. When I started out, I was putting all these funky, fresh new foods, and she would just look at the plate and push it away, because she did not recognize any of them, or if she did, she might not have liked them. So what I did is each time I served her, I would put one food that I knew she loved. So that way it would kind of open the floodgates. That means she would engage with the plate, she would start eating those fruits, and then it almost made her curious to find the other foods. So this was super helpful, and I highly recommend it. Having said that, I was sure to have good variety. Let's face it, you and me are like this. If we eat the same thing every single day, it gets so boring. And Faith is a very charismatic person. She loves like excitement, so I knew that was going to be important. And it actually really challenged me as a mom to think outside the box, to get some different vegetables than I normally do, or different fruits, and keep it exciting for everyone. Another tip is to leave the food out longer. So I would make up the plate, I'd put it down, I'd get her in her high chair. She might spend a few minutes and then push it away and be like, I'm done. So then I would take her plate to the sink and think, okay, that was a disaster. But then maybe 10 or 15 minutes later, she would go back to her high chair and be like, hey, where's my food? So my point is, leave it out longer than you think, because babies sometimes need to kind of slowly saddle up to it, and they might nibble a little bit and then want to go play, but then they'll come back. Be prepared for some tears. I'll be honest, there were some times where Faith would get up and she wanted a piece of chocolate, because she saw it maybe when I was packing Griffin's lunch. Or she would want corn chips or something that just was not a healthy choice. And she would have a full-on tantrum, okay? And it was hard as a mama, because I don't like to see my child uncomfortable. But we would just work through it. I would kind of talk to her and try to, calm her and comfort her, but also explain, you know what, no, we're gonna sit down and have breakfast. And so, it didn't always work perfectly, but now she's at a place where she kind of gets it. And the most rewarding thing for me to realize is like, you know what, those feelings do pass, and I don't have to cave. Now, some of you might be wondering, how often does a toddler need to eat? Well, I would sit down Faith like 4 to 6 times a day. Toddlers do need to eat more frequently, because their stomachs can't hold as much, and more frequent intervals. So keep that in mind. They're not going to be on the 3 square meals a day like maybe you are. So I hope these tips were helpful. I have to say, mamas, it has been a work in progress, and it was hard, but as we progressed and we stayed consistent with it, she is now a phenomenal eater. And if you want to see more of the things I feed my kids, be sure to follow me on Instagram, because I post stuff on there all the time. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. And head on over to mamanatural.com/updates and sign up for my free baby emails. Each week you'll get personalized message that tracks baby's development, plus you'll get natural evidence-based resources for you and baby. Finally, check out my baby care course at mamanaturalbaby.com. It features a holistic pediatrician, an IBCLC certified lactation consultant, and a community of new moms. Get all that info at mamanaturalbaby.com.